Been a while.
Classic. What's up, you affable assholes? Welcome to another episode of the Drunk Talks and Empty Thoughts podcast, where we get into nitty, the gritty, and the man titties. And I'm your host, RJ.
The huge.
And with me is my co-host, Alejandro Lopez.
That's my name.
I'm gonna wear it out, don't worry. But after last week's chaotic episode, we decided to just implement a little bit more structure for this one, because today we have a very specific topic. We're actually prepared this time, kind of.
Emphasis on the kind of.
First, in light of the spooky season, we're going to be looking at some horror stories. More specifically, fast food horror stories or restaurant horror stories.
So we're doing actual horror stories.
No. Like, like stories that like will make you go like, God damn, really? That shit happened?
Okay, because when I was searching up some stuff, it was like really lighthearted. Just like, it was very little to almost not a big deal, I guess.
Really?
I was just kind of like skimming through. I didn't really do a good job at researching these articles, but here we are.
All right.
Winging it as always.
You know
Not
how
bad
it
on
is.
my end. You know how it is. You never know how it is, but that's how it is.
I know, like earlier we were having a little bit like some audio kerfuffles earlier.
But we figured it out.
Yeah, hopefully it's gonna sound better this time around.
Yeah.
These are new mics, so like we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, but from the looks of it, they sound pretty good.
Oh yeah,
We sound pretty good.
as always. I mean, it's just the voices
Yeah.
in my head.
But anyways, here we are, another Thursday with you guys. If it's your Friday, happy Friday. If not, you got one more day left.
It's basically
We're
like
almost there.
on one day off tomorrow.
Friday Eve. And for those who have a weird schedule, I don't know.
Would you prefer to have like Fridays off or Mondays?
I would rather have Fridays off.
Really?
For it's a 3-day weekend, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously Friday is considered a weekend, but like you get the whole day to rest. Yeah, it's my first Friday back to the grind tomorrow, and I already missed the 3-day weekend, the 4-day work week. It's so nice. I feel like that's how it should be, work the 4-10s, enjoy your 3-day weekend, because 10 hours out of the day, like you still, when you come home, you still have a few extra, you still have time for yourself to do whatever it is you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
At least for me, that's how I felt. I mean, yeah, 10 hours and then 2 extra hours at the gym, but then like I'm still left with a couple, if not maybe a few more.
Like a handful.
Yeah, like a good amount of time for myself to do whatever. Get ready for tomorrow, do laundry, leisure activities, whatever that may be.
Masturbate.
Sure. Masturbate, pound a few beers.
Yeah. But before we get into it, I just have a quick question for you. How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Wow. Not since fucking high school.
Yeah?
Not since middle school. Not since school ever, really. I don't think about it at all, to be honest.
Apparently this question's been making a comeback on the internet. Have you noticed that?
Let's hear it. I don't spend a whole lot of time on the internet, considering that
not late, especially now lately. Like you've been telling me, you've been like reading a lot.
Yeah, I've just been reading books at home and my leisure. That's my leisure activity. Reading books. That's it.
Yeah.
I dropped all social media because, the more time I spend on my phone, that's time taken away from me to do like more like just more better activities,
Mm-hmm.
For lack of a better phrase. But yeah. So tell me more about this Roman Empire come up.
So like lately for some reason girls have been asking their boyfriends like, oh, so like how often do you think about the Roman Empire? And I think it's just like a guy thing. That's for like collectively for some reason we've all. So like I have a kink, just for a tangent, I have a canker sore in my tongue. So like it's really hard to talk. So you're gonna hear some lisps every now and then. I'm starting to like hear it now. But
that's what the tequila's for.
Oh God, baby. Hopefully that'll help.
Yeah, I mean it's just like, well, with any liquor, it's good for any illnesses or sicknesses. Helps you forget.
You're just gonna be like hear me swishing around my tongue and shit.
It's gonna burn at first, but you'll feel better after a couple.
It's gonna burn like I've like before this podcast. I was just like, I know I'm gonna be talking, so I need to take care of this quick.
This will take care of
So
you
I
real
just
quick.
been like, if you see that yellow bowl on my counter, it's just like salt. So every now and then I would just directly put salt on my
salt,
food.
huh?
Yeah, I tried the method where it's like,
Is that even helpful? Salt?
Yeah,
I mean,
it helped the other side.
Oh,
It's just this one's a lot more stubborn.
So when you say canker sore, is it like just the same as like saying what's the word? Uh what's that? When you so some people
Oh, you mean a cold sore?
Cold sore, yeah, same thing, ain't it? Because I know I learned that like you can develop cold sores like in your nose, like at the edge of your. Because it's happened to me like once in the blue moon, you know, because it's like it's it's a product of bacteria in a dark but like moist yet warm place, which would be like under your tongue,
definitely
your nose, or on your lips, right? Your mouth.
So when I heard, like, when I told people about, like, I hate when canker sores, they described it in the same way like I'm describing it right now. I can't really think of the definition at the top of my head, but right now it's just like swollen.
Yeah,
it's really
it looked pretty bad when I saw it, but I mean they come and go.
Yeah,
but it's you get them often. Is that what's happening?
Like every now and then. You've been
kissing, you know.
That's what my brother says. I'm like, fucking, I don't know.
The cat. It's
watch like Bagheera just be kissing me while I'm asleep and shit.
Yeah, just going crazy.
Probably, bro. But yeah, the Roman Empire.
The Roman Empire.
Nah, yeah. I'm just thinking this is like, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? It's obviously gonna be like a made up number, because like though like the Roman Empire itself is like an important like part of history, obviously not as much people are gonna be like, they're like, oh, I think about it all the time, which is why I've been seeing like on the internet when guys have been asked like about,
so it's become a gag.
It's like an inside joke. It's like an inside joke amongst guys, and just like it's been going around. I didn't even know it's a thing until like recently, and it was funny because the first time I was asked this question was by a friend of the show, Christian Ruiz. So RJ, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? And I thought it was just like a off topic like question. So I was just like, fucking all the time, man. You know, it's just like I thought it was just like we always do. I thought it was just a random question, just like just for the shits and gigs, you know. And
but how did he respond to that?
He just started laughing, and like I was just like, yeah, bro, like they really fucked up, you know, having a leader named after a fucking salad. Come on, man. Like
Caesar. What was that? Was that from that era?
No,
okay.
not at all. I was just being a goof, but
just being a jackass.
Like, as much as I don't think about the Roman Empire, though, I feel like out of everything, like I like history a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, in spite of the Roman Empire, I feel like I think about the Greek,
Roman and Greeks. I think when it comes down to
or just any empire in general.
Well, I mean, the Romans and the Greeks were definitely more significant out of all the empires, you know, because you still have like the smaller ones, like the Ottoman Empire, right? Mm-hmm. Can't forget about the Ottomans.
Mm-hmm. It really goes great in my living room.
Yeah. Yeah. Or in the living room.
Yeah.
Prop your feet up. After a day of long day of working.
Besides being in my living room, I can't really think of anything like specific from the Ottoman Empire. Besides the fact that
it's like part of the Mesopotamian region.
Yeah, it's like more.
That's
like,
it. That's all. That's everything that everyone remembers from that lesson.
I just feel like we've the Greek Empire, if you could really call it an empire, because it wasn't even a collective. It was more like, you know how like Athens had their own thing, Sparta had their own thing.
Yeah.
Like the Greek era is just like more something like that's more saturated.
Yeah.
In terms of like material that's been spread out nowadays, whether it be like movies, video games, especially with video games, like God of War Ragnarok, that came out this year, which I keep forgetting came out this year. Hades, which is a game that I've been wanting to play for a minute, and like you don't play as Hades himself, but like his son, and you're basically trying to get out of hell.
Oh wow!
And the art style like is what drew me It's like it's really cool.
It's like an indie game from an indie studio. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the more one of the bigger indie studios.
Okay.
Because they've had a lot of like critically acclaimed games.
Yeah.
In their repertoire, and Hades just became one of the other big things that they managed to come up with.
Yeah. It's always, I don't even though I'm not a gamer nor I'm like involved in that realm. It's always nice to like hear new fascinating games you guys find, because eventually, like when I get my own setup, like, all right, I got all this list of games that the homies had mentioned time and time again. I'm gonna start there.
You're just like basically building up a queue for yourself.
Yeah, because exactly. And John was hitting me up the other day. He was telling me about this new game that he came across, Generation Zero.
Oh, I've been seeing that on his feed.
Yeah, it's I looked it up. Came out years ago. Kind of looks like in the style of Fortnite almost, but not as like colorish, not as colorful.
Yeah,
because it's kind of like a survival game, I guess, like not a sandbox, but like an RPG survival. You know, you're kind of on your own, and you just do what you got to do, I guess, from like what I've skimmed through. You know, but it seems pretty cool. You can obviously it's like single. You can join with your friends and just like fuck around.
I'm guessing it's free.
It's free if you have the PlayStation subscription. Because John told me it's free game. I'm like, oh hell yeah, like I'll play. And then I, dusted off my PS4, plugged it in, turned it on, wait for the update.
You need the PS Plus.
I need the PS Plus. I completely forgot I have to pay to fucking play online. So I was like, I unplugged it, put the dust back on my PS4.
you grab the dust that you're like collecting.
No,
you're like,
come back. Yeah, dude, because I spent a lot of money this past month, and I gotta do better on my save. Well, I mean, I don't have money to spend, right now. So
yeah, I feel that. Like,
bills to pay, bro.
I got a trip to fucking save up for.
Didn't you just come back from Ohio?
Utah. I just came back from Utah.
I don't know why. No, Manny told me it was Ohio. I was like, damn, he's out there doing Ohio activities.
I know, for real. Maybe like he misheard me, or I missed we were probably talking about Ohio.
Or maybe it's just like one of those two things that you like confuse just naturally because they sound similar.
And like, I don't know why. Like, has Ohio been like making a comeback lately too? I feel.
No, I just remember when I was back on the internet, I would just see like the memes and like the references to like Ohio activities, and it would just be like saturated shit or just like white people doing some dumbass stuff.
Has it become like the new Florida?
Maybe, yeah.
Like, I don't think
just more like Florida. I just feel like it's more on like a scarier spectrum.
I feel like
it's like a scary spectrum.
It's like the Midwest Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. How close is Ohio from us?
It's Midwest. Like it's in the so if you take the country itself and you divide it equally in half, it's gonna be north of that region, like the middle. Here, let me pull up fact check if my geography memory serves me correctly.
Yeah, while you're doing that, Ohio, I just came from Ohio. Map. Now I'm saying I'm coming from Ohio.
Oh, just kidding.
Where is it?
I am absolutely wrong.
Let me see.
So if it's gonna be in
oh shit,
northeast.
So it's the North Florida,
northeastern, yeah.
The North Florida. They're both on the the eastern, the east
coast. It's gonna be northeast. So like right next to Wisconsin.
Cheese. That's a cheese state, right?
Yeah, it's a cheese state.
Cheese state. That 70 shows.
Yeah, right next to Wisconsin. So Utah, huh? Salt Lake City.
Yeah, exactly.
I knew it.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Utah surprised me.
Well, I mean, Salt Lake City, I guess, would be the only city to visit in Utah. Anywhere else, it's like, why?
Nah, exactly.
I remember I was watching this movie called SLC, Punk, or Punk SLC, which featured back in 98, 99, I think. But it's with Matthew Lillard. Yeah, it was like one of his early films that he starred in. Super young, he did such a good job in that movie. It was very interesting. It was kind of like a mockumentary of like what it's like to be a punk in SLC, Salt Lake City. because that's where the setting is, Utah, and they're talking about, and like back then, I mean, it still probably is now. He talks about like, oh yeah, like being punks and all, like we party a lot, we fuck shit up a lot, we fight the man, and all about anarchy. But like the main thing that sucks is that like we have when it comes to like getting alcohol, it's like the beer and alcohol is absolute garbage. The place is closed super early.
It's a lot more strict over there.
Yeah, because it's like a Mormon state. It's a religious state. They don't sense. And like the next place to get like good liquor and beer is the state over in
Nevada, right?
And was it Nevada that they went to?
Because I just looked at, I was like looking at.
I think it was Nevada that they drove, because there was like a scene where they're driving all the way to Nevada to get beer, and you know what they got?
Probably not even good alcohol.
No, I think it was Coors or Bush, but I mean it was probably good at the time, better than what the fuck they were doing.
Damn.
No, because the reason why it's shit beer over there in SLC is because like the alcohol percentage is super low. Like I'm talking about like 3%. Like why? That's just drinking water, At
explains why it took me 11 drinks to get fucked up over there.
Yeah, I mean, you probably were drinking beer you've never seen before.
Yeah, I don't even know what I was drinking.
Yeah, now
I think it was an IPA. Oh.
Even see if you're drinking an IPA there and you're not feeling shit, like after your whatever the fuck, then water.
Yeah, it was basically like nothing.
Nothing like the IPA is here though. Talk about Elysian,
like 8% and shit, right?
8 point. This one's 8.8. This is the full contact. The space test that everyone knows Elysian for is 8.2, which is really good. But yeah, I mean, I got tired of drinking like packs and packs of lagers, like Modelo, Coronas. I want to drink 2 beers and have a cool buzz. So now I'm onto IPAs. It's nice. I mean, at first, yeah, it's kind of like those acquired tastes, because they're a bit heavier, pretty hoppy. Tastes like a beer, not like your typical ones. But once you have a few, you get used to them, and they're not all bad. They're all different, so don't think they're all the same. Like the ones that we had the last episode, the Shadow Puppet Brewing Company, that was really good.
No, that was pretty good.
That was really good.
Like I said, Utah surprised me, because first night while I was over there, huge ass bike party that was going on. Like huge.
Like the ones that we have here in San Jose.
Yeah, but this one kept going.
Like, what was the time frame of it? Did you take a part of this?
No, we were just, me and my cousins were just like walking downtown and just like trying to scope out like what it is to do there, because like our hotel itself was like in the middle of downtown. So obviously we're just like, okay, let's see what's up. Let's see what Utah has.
Downtown Utah, SLC.
That's what I'm saying.
Damn.
And we're just like, oh, what the fuck? And then literally like a whole ass like army of bikes just going down.
Like bicycles or like motorbikes?
Fucking bicycles. Like actual bikes.
Okay, so like a bike party.
Like a bike party.
With like all with lights and people like dressed up.
Speakers, the whole shebang, Some people were on unicycles,
Unicycles?
Yeah, I was like, damn, Utah, I see you. And it just kept going. We're just like there for like a good fucking minute. Yeah. And we're just like, damn.
Oh, it was like super long.
Super long.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like the party itself was pretty long.
It was like the
bike train. The bike train.
Yeah, the train was fucking huge. We're like, damn, we've been here for like fucking 10 minutes just like looking at this thing. And we found some really cool bars over there. There's this bar I feel like you would fuck with. It's like a Japanese bar. And like there's like a pool. Like a pool hall. It's like very like the vibe itself was really cool. A lot of anime stuff.
Oh, okay.
The decorations itself were like had like Japanese style booths. And dude, the drafts, like the 16 ounces, guess how much they were?
I imagine cheap.
Yeah, like fucking $5.
What?
$5 for draft.
Yo.
And I was like,
but what beer? Were they actually doing Japanese beer like Sapporo, Asahi?
Yeah, and all of that on tap. I had Sapporo on tap and shit.
That's where I'm going.
Dude, it was a sick place.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Cool.
And in our little like excursion of trying to like find a bar, we ended up just in front of the Japanese bar, and I was just like, I'm gonna go check it out, and I came out with a beer.
They let you walk out with a beer?
Oh no, they had like this whole balcony area.
Oh, that's sick. What?
And then
this is in the hotel? No, this is separate.
Separate.
And what was my question about the bar? What was it called? You asshole.
Fuck, I don't even know. Oh, yeah.
Cheers to new discoveries and new locations.
Oh, yeah.
Traveling.
Safe
if you got time,
travels.
you got the money, why not? Cheers.
Yeah, money is.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Jesus.
That is really sweet.
Yeah.
Even for reposado. I want to like Casamigos, but nah, it's not it. So filled. It's a lot of filler. A lot of unnecessary flavors.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I'm tasting like a lot of vanilla.
Exactly, that's the filler, dude. Like a lot of these tequila brands, they do rush the process. So when you get a lot of like vanilla, it's just filler.
You don't taste as much as the smokiness.
Well, smokiness, the agave naturally is what's supposed to give it, that ease, that smoothness, the sweetness. But they throw vanilla in there to kind of speed up the process because agave takes a long time for it to grow.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like one of those plants that like just bloom as fast as like most others,
Yeah.
There's I remember seeing a TikTok. I don't have TikTok, but I was shown this TikTok video a long time ago of like, oh yeah, tequilas to avoid because of all the rush processes, the fillers that they add, the additives, versus tequilas that you should try from companies lesser known, but they take their time with the process and they're well made tequilas and they're delicious. They're great.
Before we get to our segment for today,
the food stories.
Is there anything else we want to add?
Carrying?
Like any news, anything you want to talk about briefly? Anything you want to touch on?
Man, I could talk a lot about a lot of shit and have no end, but I guess that's it.
I just finished The Bear on Hulu.
Oh, The Bear,
which is
I was thinking of Cocaine Bear.
No, that's what Manny and Nikki said when I showed them it.
Huh?
It's a show basically about like, excuse me, it's about like a high end chef, right?
Oh, is it the actor from Shameless? Yeah.
Jeremy,
okay, I seen the thumbnail on Hulu. Hulu, right?
Yeah. Really good show, but really, really high anxiety.
How so?
Well, it's obviously like it's like based off cooking, right? So it's him like trying to take his brother's restaurant, who'd recently had passed away, and basically elevating this restaurant that his brother had. And this man has went through a lot of trauma when it comes to like his family, because they are dysfunctional as fuck.
Yeah,
like
they
very
were.
similar.
Yeah, they were.
Like,
Shameless.
Whether it be Shameless or this show, he cannot. This actor cannot.
So this character was just like up his alley to play.
No, not exactly. You just like, I'm just seeing like between the clips of Shameless that I see of him and the clips, the show I see, the episodes I see in The Bear, it's just like same. It's like same fucking like energy. There's literally an entire episode where it's like a long ass take of them going through like a badass rush. Like, and this rush is bad because they're trying like a new ticketing system that he wanted to implement. Turns out they set up to queue to where like everything was open. They're like, what the fuck? Tickets are coming in. Tickets are like hella tickets are coming in. And he's like, okay, so we got 256 sandwiches, 77 fries, like just a whole bunch of shit that they had to get ready in 8 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, and everyone just starts freaking out. I'm just watching this. I'm just like, oh fuck! I like my chest is fucking tightening.
Yeah, and then working in like the food industry, it's like you kind of like a little taste of it.
But like to this extent, it's just like so fucking like.
It's a series, right?
It's a series, and it's really really good. And like just finished up the second season, which is like the season that just came out this year. So now I have to wait.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's a really good show. It has a lot of anxiety, has a lot of dysfunctionality, But what it really
I can relate. Oh man, actually, you know, like I'm gonna fucking check this out because I haven't, like I said, like we are talking way before we started this show. Like I just been reading a lot, like in most of my leisure time. Like I haven't really been watching anything. Like I turn on my TV for only like the fireplace when I sleep. Like that's my background noise. That's the video.
That's so nice,
dude. Because now that summer's over and it's fall, it's like that's what I put on.
Like
the
you got the vibe. That's a vibe.
Keep me warm at night, baby. Without the actual warmth. But you know, it's like the psychology is like, oh, I see a fire. It's warm.
Yeah,
helps me
comfort.
Yeah, and I just hear the sparks and the wood crack. That's my ASMR right there.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, I'll check it out. That's gonna be my first go to watch.
Nah, yeah, dude. It's like Shameless, but for cooks.
And I didn't even finish all of that of the Shameless. Like I actually like only seen bits and pieces when I would watch it with Manny.
And Mike too, right?
Mike mentioned it to me. Way back then.
So he never like just put it on.
No. But like, why would you too? You know, because like
I know it's not the vibe.
It's not the vibe. It was never the vibe. But like, I remember when he mentioned it, it was like the way he put it was like, dude, watching Shameless makes you appreciate the shit that you have in your own life. Because like honestly, that show's fucked up.
This show too.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, like how I was thinking like, oh, this must be super sad and depressing. And then like watching it with Manny, and well, I mean, it kind of depends on like who you watch shows with because honestly, like Manny's like he has no filter when it comes to like commentating.
Manny's hella funny.
He is hella funny when it comes to
when you watch something with Manny.
Yeah,
he's like, what the fuck?
That's what I love about it, dude. Like he'll say some shit that's like falls to the wall, like no one was thinking that but you, and it just like lightens up the whole room.
I was watching like the first like episode or two with him and Nikki, and it's just like all the thoughts that came out of his head. It just made me think like, what the fuck? Where'd you even get that?
Exactly, but like that's his gimmick. That's his knack.
Like I remember I was just like, damn, this is a really intense scene. Then all I hear like next is like, man, fuck this bitch. Like,
yeah, dude. Back to the bear.
No, I just want to say one thing, which is like, there's a lot of dysfunctionality to it. There's a lot of anxiety to it, but at its heart, there's a lot of heart because you see like during these times. Like,
I mean, he's very passionate about it, especially more so because his brother passed away. And
from the other people around the restaurant, because you start to see like these people develop their skills and start to find their own purpose in life. Like one of the other characters who
leaves.
Oh, that happens too. But
yeah, I imagine because
there's also a character that stick around. He's like considered like big asshole, a lot of bravado, a lot of machismo, but like you slowly start to see like the layers behind him, but also like see how he comes up from his own insecurities, becomes something better.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, he wasn't always like that from the beginning, I imagine.
Oh,
it
definitely.
Came from somewhere, and then you get to know these people and their background stories, and it all connects.
There's like an episode in Self-Doubt that just involved like the main character's family before his brother had passed away.
Oh, so like his previous life before that, his life before the whole restaurant.
So it was when he was in culinary school and he had come back from visiting, and he really didn't want to come in for holidays because he's just like, fuck, I don't want to deal with my family. I know how they're gonna be.
Yeah, a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's just such an intense episode because like it's just like watching water boil, you know,
until
like a tea kettle boil, because like slowly you see like the fucking like steam come out
until it starts screaming,
and then yeah, exactly, and then at one point it comes to a head where like everyone's just screaming, everyone's just like, it gets very very like, holy shit, like, oh, this feels so bad. But in the midst of that, you just see the character I was talking about. Like, you see his own, like, brand of happiness. His brief, like, a very brief, like, time when he was happy. And you also
all the bullshit.
Yeah. And, like, next episode after that is when you start to see him like, come up, like, start to, like, develop.
Mm-hmm.
And find his purpose, because at the beginning of the season he was just like really fighting for his own like meaning of purpose. Just like you guys really don't need me here. I don't know what I'm doing here. It's kind of deal. It's just like something we've all like really had to do.
We all relate to that because it's for a majority of us, we come out, we start off like happy, and like naive in a sense because we're not really aware of like all the real shit that we have to deal with when we get older until we get there, and then we're there, and then we're lost. We're just kind of floating around, living life, taking it day by day, until eventually we find that purpose. And it isn't up until then that we achieve like happiness, unless in some cases not because we achieve it through discovering our purpose, but because like we achieve self happiness with just being ourselves. And I feel like it's all the same, like it's a journey regardless, and if you found it, congratulations.
And it's a really interesting journey to see and go through, honestly.
I will watch this. This is really cool.
Nice.
So, the way you telling it.
Right, and
I'm buying it, baby.
She's not the only character that goes through this kind of like change and stuff.
No, all of them.
Especially through the second season, where you're just like,
there's 2 seasons. Let's go.
Yeah, it's like 10 episodes, but like they go from 30 minutes to an hour.
Oh, okay.
The episode I told you with the whole family situation, like he's coming home from the holidays, fucking literally over an hour, like an hour and 5 minutes, and it's just like fuck. This is one of the most intense things I've seen. But
all right,
moving on.
Well, watch the bear. You heard it here, folks. From the boys, Drunk Talks and Empty Thoughts. And I'll let you know all about my experience watching it next time.
Next time we meet up.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'll circle back. I'll bring it up. Like, hey.
Yeah, dude. It's a good show.
I believe it.
But before we move on, I have one piece of news.
Yeah.
Did you hear?
No.
About?
Probably not.
The new Devil May Cry anime.
Yes, I fucking did. Yes, I fucking did. Oh my god, I'm so glad you brought this up. Oh, my boy Eli. Shout out to my boy Eli. Extra. He sent me. He texted me saying the fucking trailer that was posted on Twitter.
It looks good,
dude. Oh my god, I love it when the trailers are short and sweet, not like super long, super revealing. This is what's happening. Like, don't fucking ruin it for me. I think it was like what, about 12 seconds?
Yeah,
like, not even a whole
24.
minute.
24
seconds, double the time. Dude,
looks good.
It was. Say less,
and it's
don't give me any more.
From the same people that have been handling the Castlevania.
It seemed like it, yeah. The animation seemed very familiar.
Art style itself too, yeah. And like, if you've recently seen the new Castlevania season, that's like a good indication of what's to come, because like the fight scenes itself, I've been seeing.
Yeah,
it's really fucking like wild, like.
Well, I mean, as it should be for DMC, because, like, Dante, you're gonna go balls to the wall, fucking have his fun fighting, and it's just interesting to me, like, the voice actor, they didn't stick with the original guy. I forget his name.
Ruben Langdon.
There you go. Yes, thank you so much. But like, I have high hopes that this voice actor will be fitting, because like we only got like one line. It wasn't even like a whole line, just one word.
I didn't even notice it.
Yeah, and it was like, okay, I can work with it. It wasn't like, oh yeah, that's Dante, but it was like, I can work with it.
It's like it's either. You just
but like you gotta give it a chance.
It's just a tip.
Exactly, it's just a tip, and you just gotta like take that leap.
So we have here a bunch of stories from Reddit about the restaurant industry, and since me and Alejandro here are.
We've got a lot of experience in the food industry as servers, bartenders,
or just behind the cashier, or cooks. Quote unquote cooks.
Quote unquote cooks. Yes, not my job, but I'll throw down if they need the help.
But let's look at what we have here. So I've seen like a half. I would either skim through it or like seen a half of it. I've never really like read out loud yet. We have, am I the asshole for complaining about a server who stepped over my child while holding a large tray? Info. I was at a restaurant alone, other than my toddler. It was a two-person table with just me and my daughter. I was at a restaurant last night with my toddler. She spilled her drink, so I had to take her out of the high chair and place her next to me for a moment while I grabbed wipes out of the diaper bag. She was admittedly sitting on the ground for that moment because I didn't feel comfortable putting her on a chair by herself. A waiter was walking by with a large tray and very clearly saw my kid. Instead of saying excuse me or pausing for a moment to allow me to pick her up, he stepped directly over my kid while holding that large tray. I was pretty upset because I saw him put the tray down at a nearby table and it had several steak knives on it. I complained to the manager, who seemed appalled that the server would step over a child while holding a tray full of steak knives. My husband said I'm in the wrong because our daughter shouldn't have been on the floor in the first place. I agree that typically a child should never be on the floor of a restaurant, but I'd place her somewhere other than the high chair in order to clean up the spill, and she's too little to sit by herself on the chair. The server very clearly saw her and made the conscious decision to step over a toddler while holding a tray full of steak knives. I very easily could have moved her or had said something and paused for a few seconds. But by the time I was able to react, he had already stepped over her. Am I the asshole?
So stepped over or stepped on?
Stepped over.
Okay, so first of all, this guy is definitely an asshole. Or
Or is it a guy?
There was a lady who pointed it out to him, and he reacted for the whole. Reacted, throughout the, he was the one who was the reactor, and she was just the informant. But this lady, like, he goes on to say, like, yeah, I had to remove my child from the child seat to clean up the mess. Bitch, your wife couldn't hold the fucking baby for a minute while you clean up? Why was the child
it was just the lady and her child.
It was just the lady and her child.
Yes.
There was no husband. But it says, like, my husband.
The husband's, she probably told her husband after. Because it says, I was at the restaurant alone other than my toddler.
Okay, alone.
I'm still thinking she's an asshole.
She's definitely an asshole.
Because like you can't be leaving your kid around.
You can't hold your child in one arm and clean the spill with another,
or even just put her on your lap. If she's too small to like be on the chair, she's not
big enough to carry and hold.
Yeah,
and with one arm,
or like be on your lap or some shit.
Yeah, like kids should never be let loose around the restaurant, running around. It's not a fucking playground in general. It's not a playground.
Because we're handling hot food, we're handling utensils.
We're working. People are coming and going. We're moving around the restaurant. The hallways, the walkways, they should be clear at all times because, like, food needs to be delivered to you pronto.
Like, this is a restaurant. Like you said, it's not fucking playground.
No, yeah. And we've seen that a lot, you and I, back at...
We've had to dodge our own set of fucking kids, and we've been very close to either like dropping the actual hot food that we're bringing to their table, or even just like getting very close in my head to fucking punting the shit out of these kids.
Yeah, dude. Like, I get so upset when I see kids start running around and bumping into like
I'm about to roll a dexterity check to fucking punt the shit out of these kids.
Yeah, I mean, best wish that they don't roll a fucking 20 on them kids. But, I mean, and the server stepped over the child, not on the child. Like, you have no idea how many times where I I would have stepped on that kid. I would have probably just just fuck it.
Start creasing on these kids, start creasing this kid's J's, just start stepping on them and shit.
Yeah, dude, we're not assholes for thinking it, but we definitely would be for acting on it. It's just like those intrusive thoughts. We never let them win, but they're there. Just like everyone else, they all got their own intrusive thoughts, and who knows? Maybe ours aren't as bad as yours, or maybe
I don't know. I worked this weekend; it might happen.
I mean, luckily, I don't have to worry about kids in my vicinity at work, so that's good, not anymore. Honestly. Thank God. But still, either way. And who's to say that this server saw the kid in sight and just coincidentally was able to step over them?
No, yeah, that server could have easily seen them last minute, because when you're a server and you're constantly on the go, you have tunnel vision. I gotta get my
and it was just by luck that he missed your kid. If anything, it would have been unfortunate if this server, he or she, stepped over your child.
Like, and if your kid's in an area where like someone could easily trip over them, like that's still.
I mean,
You're
if you placed your child there, that's on you.
Yeah, exactly.
That is on you. You are an asshole for sure for acting out on something that you kind of like set up yourself, your child. You know, but just be happy the server didn't step on your kid because it could have been way worse.
Like, I know, especially if he had snake.
Yeah, because otherwise, to mention the steak knives, it's just like that's just coincidental. I mean, you ordered the steak, right?
Or some shit. Someone did.
I mean,
either way,
that's your fault too. Still for ordering the damn steak.
And everyone here in the comment section says yes, they are the asshole.
Yes.
Anything on the floor is a trip hazard for the server. Would you feel so righteous if the server tripped on your child and impaled themselves? Don't put your child in a place where people walk. There are restrooms available for you to clean her. Yeah, it's stupid.
They're saying don't downvote assholes. Do upvote interesting posts.
Okay.
I see. Because then it's like the algorithm. You downvote it, then it's like you're not going to see a whole lot of those. Huh, Reddit's an interesting forum. I have it on my phone, and I don't ever use it so often. The last time I actually used it for was to figure out like what are some good places in San Jose to watch the Canelo fight that happened last weekend.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because I went out with my coworkers to go watch it, and they were like, "Do the research. Where can we watch it?" Because they're all like,
"How was that?"
Spanish speakers. It was a good fight. Canelo obviously won,
as
we all expected him to win. No, it was a good fight. There was no knockout. But it's good punches were thrown, and it's like this Canelo who was fighting Charlo, like he had the advantage, on height and reach, but Canelo got him beat. Yeah, by experience, because Canelo had way more fights than he did.
He has twice the amount.
Yeah, and then Charlo had only been knocked out, had lost one
time.
No, he's got two losses.
Old bitch came in, got sat in my section, and went full Paula Deen when I approached her. I want the black server over there serving it is their place.
Wow!
Holy
wow! Whoa! I'm surprised. Did she even get served at all with that shit?
I asked permission to kick her racist ass out, and management said no.
Whoa!
Not unless other customers complained. I left knuckle prints on the walk-in door. Boxers fracture, and I never missed a shift. Holy shit.
Boxers fracture.
It's probably like around the knuckle area.
And I never missed a shift. That
pales in comparison to the rape threat, though. I had a trigger warning. I had a gay table getting mad I wouldn't flirt. I'm professional and friendly, but I don't flirt. Towards the end of their meal, they told me I had a nice ass and that maybe they wait in the parking lot and take it. Management kept the gun and walked me to my car, but wouldn't let me kick them out, afraid of the optics. That may have been the same night that this one guy is out on a date and just kept asking if I would want to fuck his girlfriend in the ass. Just wouldn't stop. I just said, that's not an appropriate thing for me to discuss with customers. Fucker didn't tip, but his girlfriend came back, apologized, and informed me he got his ass dumped in the parking lot. People suck, diuretic erected. That's fucking wild.
Man, dude, that's crazy. I mean, I
ever had anything like racist happen around you at the restaurant business?
No, I remember one time working back at. It was really small and like it wasn't even anything to be like to condone or like consider racist or not racist, but like messed up because I don't remember the table that said this, but a host informed me that the table had asked for me but referred to me as a servant rather than a server, and the host was more offended about it than I was, or was offended at all for me, I guess, because like honestly, like servant and server really the same. Really, they're the same thing if you think about it. It's just like when people hear servant, it's like whoa, hold up. You know, like I don't know what I forgot which host or who even brought it to my attention, but it's like I wasn't tripped about it. I wasn't tripped up about it because honestly, like that's what we are in a sense, like servants, servers.
They
A
definitely treat us
servant
like servants.
serves when they're working, they're serving. But henceforth, they're servers.
I mean, like,
Same thing. Like it doesn't bother me. And
I
like,
mean, it depends on the extent.
yeah, and I'm sure
Because
this
definitely a lot of people treat us like that, or just like
oh, like we're
like
not
snapping at
humans.
us.
Yeah. But like this table, like it wasn't even a bad experience at all. Otherwise, I would have remembered more of it. But that's all I remember from it. But yeah, it was just another table, and that's it.
Damn.
Yeah, and it wasn't like anything fucked up like these stories. But like I feel like this was pretty tough.
That's fucked up.
And it's bad on this manager was definitely an asshole for not kicking out the racist guest, for not kicking out these. Like if you're harassing the workers or if you're acting racist towards them, like you're not gonna get served in my restaurant if I were to have one. Restaurant, bar, you acting up super inappropriately, you're out.
Exactly.
Your money does not matter to me.
It's just a fucked up.
Because then that's how management lose teams. That's how they lose members. That's how they lose workers. Yeah, you know, like I work for you because not only do I need the money, but because I trust you that you will take care of me in times of need. And if you don't, then like honestly, like I can get paid elsewhere.
Yeah, and like if I know that I'm not safe in this workplace, where can I fucking go? You know?
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
But yeah, that the latter part of that's pretty fucked up.
No.
People
do suck diuretic rectums.
It's very like common too for a lot of like that kind of harassment to happen at like in the food
towards
industry,
women,
especially
towards women. Yeah, like women sure do make a lot of money, but like they also do take a lot of shit. It's like a double-edged sword. You know, us men. You never hear stories about men in the food industry dealing with shit like this.
This is like one of the fewer cases I've heard men get harassed like this.
Yeah.
But either way, it sucks. Harassment's not a fun thing to deal with. It's just like,
oh, this was a dude.
This was a dude because I had a gay table. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, this is the first. I don't know why I thought this was a woman's perspective.
Racist.
Racist is not the proper sexist. Maybe, but damn. Okay. So I mean, not to discredit that men don't have it tough out there, but you mostly hear a lot of bad shit from the women. Whew. Well, now RJ is reading this story. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you are all enjoying the show. If not, well, better luck next time on next week's episode. Let us know what you think in the comments, what we should discuss about. You know, DM us, email us, message us. Do what you got to do to reach out to us. We will see them. We will respond to your inquiries, your requests, your suggestions, your opinions. Oh, thank you so much. We appreciate y'all.
All right, let's just do this.
All right, now we're back to it.
Let's go. Am I the asshole for singling out my boyfriend who never tips the server at a restaurant? My boyfriend, 40-year-old male, myself, and 3 other friends went out for dinner a few days ago for some burgers and alcohol. We had a great time, service was great, and the experience was very enjoyable. It was time for us to pay our bills. All of us paid separate checks. When we were all getting our credit cards out to pay, I said out loud to everybody, just as simple as the conversation, make sure to tip our waitress. She was amazing. Don't be that type of person who doesn't tip. Come on, guys. Not going to lie, I gave my boyfriend a blank stare when I said that. My boyfriend never tips. He's one of those people where he only wants to pay what is on the bill. No more, no less. I've had a conversation in the past with him, explaining to him on the etiquette of tipping our waitress, since they only make $1.37 an hour where we live, and they literally rely on tips. But he does not care. Anyways, back to the restaurant. None of our friends caught I was looking at my boyfriend because they were all focused on grabbing their credit cards, and they simply did not know that he is not a tipper. As usual, my boyfriend did not tip the waitress, but myself and everybody else did. We said goodbye to our friends and went home. My boyfriend and I took the same car home. He brought up the situation to me in the car. He said, I knew you were singling me out at a restaurant when you brought up the tipping topic. I saw that look you gave me. I apologized immediately since he did not sound very thrilled based off the tone of his voice. Expressed my concern once again on how I felt about him never tipping. As usual, he tells me how he literally does not care about tipping and never will anytime soon. Topic changed from there. I've been thinking about this situation all week. Am I the asshole for this, or do you think he is?
Damn, to tip or not to tip? Are you an asshole or
Like, this man literally does not tip, regardless of service.
regardless of service, you do not tip? I feel like, man, I mean, I will always tip because I know what it's like. I've been in the field, I've been out there. But like, if you don't tip, like, hey, that's your money. You know, like, who am I to say what you do with your money at the end of the day? Like, you don't want to tip, that's fine. You know, like, say I went out on a date with someone and they didn't tip because that's just their belief or their one of the things they don't care about. They don't want to tip. Fine. I mean, I'll tip regardless anyway. I'm not gonna say I'm a tip for the both of us, but I'm gonna leave a tip. I think that's enough for the server. You know, like someone tips at the table. Cool. You know, again, it just kind of falls on. I'm not to say that she's an asshole for bringing it up to her boyfriend. You know, she strongly feels how she feels about um, his view on tipping. That's fine, but I just feel like it doesn't matter. You know, like maybe if the boyfriend had a different if explain where was I going with this? Maybe if the boyfriend wasn't much of an asshole explaining why. I don't know.
I
Like,
feel like the way he described not wanting to tip
the way he
is also kind of like an indication of of other red flags that he might have. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. Like maybe like you don't have to be a tipper, but like to like just flat out straight like, oh, I don't give a shit. Like that's kind of like an asshole.
Especially when you're just like, it kind of like disregards on like what she was saying.
Exactly.
Like in the way she was like, oh, these guys literally get paid $1.
Yeah.
Like at least help them out a little bit. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's just like you don't have to tip them like a whole lot of money. Just like $2. What's that gonna cost you?
Yeah.
Something, right? But then, I mean, at the end of the day, like it's his money. Can't really tell him what to do. But like, he is definitely an asshole, and that is, like you said, it's an indication to maybe other potential red flags. You know, like
especially like and how
doesn't care.
he handled
The conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. It's honestly, tipping culture itself is
It's
so
tricky.
fucked up.
It's tricky.
It's
Yeah.
Like honestly, for me personally, it just depends on the service.
Yeah.
Either way, I'll tip at least a little bit, but how much depends on the quality of service. Like,
Exactly.
I'll at least put like
we'll always tip, but I mean, it's again, the rest is just based on quality.
yeah, if they did good, they did good. Like
if they did shit, well, like you're gonna get like something, but it's not a lot.
Yeah, it's just like it's whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
No, it was absolute dog shit. You ain't getting shit.
Imagine just like, bro, just tell me broke. Just tell me you're broke.
Right. I ain't gonna tell you I'm broke, but do better. Nah.
She should do better.
Who?
Person.
Oh yeah, she probably is doing better.
Hopefully.
Am I the asshole for making my server cry on my birthday?
Alright, let's see how this
Wow.
goes.
Okay, this isn't too long. It's just 2 quick paragraphs. Can I read this one?
Yeah.
I'd like to read this one. All right.
I,
a 28 male, just celebrated my birthday and my mother wanted to take me out to dinner. I wasn't in the mood, but to make her happy, I agreed, so we went to a local whiskey bar. Interesting. I'm not the kind of person who likes to draw attention to themselves. You know those people who turn their birthday into a birth month. I'm the exact opposite. It's another day, but I do the niceties. That's not a word. That's no way that's a word. But I do the
I've heard it before.
Niceties. Niceties?
Niceties?
Niceties. Fact check me, guys. But I do the niceties to make the family happy. So with that said, we sit down, order our food, and my mom mentions to the server that we are celebrating my birthday. And the server made note it was my birthday. So I made sure to tell her explicitly, please, no singing. I don't want singing at my table. No, nothing. I'm 28 and just want to enjoy a nice dinner with my mom. She says, it's okay, we don't do singing. I was happy with the statement. Dinner goes smoothly, and when dessert came, I saw my server with a dessert and a candle. That's fine. But on the other side of my eye, I saw another server walking to my table with something in their hand. Before I could see what it was, said server started ringing the loud cowbell, getting the entire restaurant's attention. Everyone, we have a birthday here. Give it up for the fucking stars. I get it. For most people, it's fun, happy little things. But for me, I snapped. I don't like the attention. I said no singing for that reason. Not thinking they would try some other thing. I couldn't even enjoy my dessert that I sent it back at the bar. When my server came to me asking how things were and if I finished my dessert early, I snapped at her. I said no singing, and you do this? She looks at me and goes, well, I said we didn't do singing here. I looked at her and said, when I said no singing, what made you think I'd rather have a fucking bell ringing in my ears? She apologized and said she read the situation wrong. She walked away. Another guy, probably the manager, came and tried making light of the situation, but I just wanted to leave. My mother was upset with me and told me that I made the server cry. Am I the asshole? Nah, that dude was totally in the right. The server crying. Okay, so the server probably.
I don't think they really cried. They never like explicitly like said they saw them like crying.
That is true. That is true. And even if the server was sad about how that situation turned out, her crying out of as an act of her emotions is not the fault of the guest. It's not. Did the guest tell you to cry? No. He was just upset that you did exactly what he didn't want. You know? I mean, you didn't sing happy birthday, but like the whole point of singing happy birthday is to bring attention to the birthday person.
Yeah.
What makes you think that like a cowbell to the fucking ear wasn't gonna do just that? You know? Like it's the same thing, you know. People don't. There's a big group of people who don't like the attention and would rather stay away from the limelight of things. So, just like, I mean, she clearly read the situation wrong, you know, the server. But I mean, if someone asks you, don't sing, like, don't bring attention to them because that's ultimately what singing does. It's bringing attention to you, but whoever you're singing to.
Or at least, the cowbell shit. Give it up for.
Give it up for Asterisk. For
No, yeah, it's just Asterisk.
Just that throwaway 2021.
Fucking ring in my ear.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the guy's an asshole.
The person's not the asshole, but neither is the server. Yeah. Because maybe the server did just read the situation wrong.
No, yeah. And maybe he could like handled said it a bit better. Like I get where he's coming from.
I mean,
but it's just
you know, some people just don't handle attention very well because, you know, PTSD. You know, sometimes when the attention's drawn to you, it's not always a good thing.
Yeah. I feel like they would have said that too. Like if it was like they just didn't like.
Well, I mean, a lot of people say things, but without reason. You know, like they know what they like, they don't like, but they never go off as to like why. You know.
Yeah, but I feel like in these kind of like situations, they kind of have to explain.
Well, I mean, if someone doesn't want,
especially if they're like trying to like, in these kinds of things, I feel like you have to explain as much as you can because otherwise you're just spinning a narrative, you know.
That is true.
And that's insincere. You know?
That is very insincere.
Especially when you're putting it public on a forum, you're just like, oh, I just want to make it seem like, you know, there could be a lot of information that's missing. But in this case, this is very straightforward.
Yeah.
No one's an assoule. But
I think this
definitely could like, handle that a little bit better. But you know, honestly,
I don't think not
really any harm was done.
Definitely not an asshole. No one's an asshole in this situation. It was just kind of like mishap.
But what does
But have you ever had a table that was like, oh, it's my birthday, but I don't want you to sing
all the time,
all the time?
all the time. But
Yeah.
there's always like,
Was there ever like a time where like you did sing and they didn't want it and they were like they snapped just like in this story?
not to that extent, but you're just like, fuck, bro, what? It's just more like, oh, I'm
Because
embarrassed.
it's just you were fucking born. You're here today after all these years of your birthday. You know, like be grateful. You know. I mean, I've had tables where like, oh yeah, you know, we don't like I don't like the singing. You know, like don't sing happy birthday. I'm like, okay, fair. I'll come by myself with just a dessert and a candle, and I'll just say happy birthday. Enjoy. And there's nothing wrong with just that. Not every birthday has to be like a big spectacular event.
So the guy updated.
Oh, there's an update.
There's an update.
There's an update. We got an update, folks.
Update. I'm reading all the comments saying the server was just trying to do something nice. I only said no singing because that's the norm with birthdays. It's the most common form of patronage a restaurant does to celebrate someone's birthday. I worked in 5 different restaurants with different managers, different owners, and every single one it was singing for a birthday. Nothing more, nothing less. Or did you want to read this?
Yeah, go ahead. You already started.
So when I said no singing, what I was saying was please do not do what most restaurants normally do when one celebrates their birthday. And when the server said we don't do that here, I assumed that meant they don't go out of the way to specifically make a big spectacle out of the birthday for someone. So I was happy with the response. But then you throw in a giant cowbell into the mix, breaking said norm. I did not say no cowbell or no attention because A, I thought by saying no singing I made my point clear, and B, I was not under the impression that restaurants ring giant cowbells for birthdays.
But you're at a whiskey bar.
That's right, huh?
You're at a whiskey bar, my friend.
And as for the server, she was great, and I went out of my way to not bother her much because it was a busy night. That all changed all at the very end when she coordinated with another person to make this happen. That's what everyone is missing here. There was another server, there was communication going on here. The conversation could have either been, hey, this dude doesn't want singing, I don't think he wants us to make a big deal out of it, or it was, hey, he doesn't want singing, but never said anything about a giant cowbell. So for all the yes to asshole, so for all the yes, the asshole about how I responded, I respect that. Could have handled it better, but for the other people saying yes, asshole, because the server was just trying to make someone happy, are either very tone deaf or think that servers are beyond criticizing because minimum wage.
My minimum wage. My minimum wage. Yeah, that's right how you sounded when I'm typing that. Okay, so like this dude definitely cleared up that like he is in fault for like not explaining it and not handling that situation better. But like also like you could have like specifically said like I don't want to touch it myself, you know?
Oh yeah,
because that's ultimately what you want, right?
because
But
he even said right here like it could have been A or B. Like
Yeah.
you gotta specifically say you want B.
Yeah, you gotta be specific.
I mean,
what you want.
specifically you want A.
Yeah, because if you really don't specify it to your servers about what you want, it just kind of leaves room in the air for them to take it into their own hands and be like, okay, well, let me like have fun with this then,
Yeah.
right? Like, and then you're not gonna be happy with it because it's like you weren't specific in the very beginning. Like it's all about communication.
He even says here like there was communication, just not a communication between you know these two. But yeah, a lot of them are saying yes.
Damn, a lot of these stories are making
no.
me want to go back to work in a restaurant just to like, you know, just to witness the drama and shit unfold. Not to be a part of it, just to witness it.
Right. You know how sometimes when you're working a double on a Saturday, your brain stops working and words are hard at the end of your shift? It's starting to happen right now. I was talking to another server's table tonight, explaining our birthday thing. It was a mom, dad, and 2 little kids. I was trying to ask them if they like Joe to come back over to their table, but somehow, my brain and mouth managed to spit out, would you like Joe? Would you like Joe to come all over you?
Wow. No saying that. I just left. Hope you all had a wonderful Saturday. And that's the end of that post.
Oh wait. What? I want to take a look at the comments. Earlier tonight, I dropped checks off at the table and said "enjoy," as if I had just given them food. I'm not sure if they noticed. I was almost too mortified to go back and pick them up.
Enjoy. Yeah, enjoy paying this bill.
I always end up saying "Have a great gay" for some unknown reason, or "dick" instead of "dip." You guys want garlic dick with that?
Who's got a dick with that? That's I never thought I'd be afraid to get my sentences
I feel
mixed
like
up.
I feel like that's happened to me before.
That's never happened to me. Never
Alright.
happened to me.
I wouldn't
like
be-
I'm scared now. I'm worried now that would have happened to me.
But all right, you ready to leave it on this one last note?
All right, one more, guys. We got one more for y'all, and then
Very
it's,
short. Very short.
Moving on to other things.
All right, so this is just like very short. After so many years of serving, I thought I heard every possible response to "How would you like your eggs?" In between your thighs, I'll eat them right out of there. It's definitely a new one. Yeah, he got kicked out.
And that's all she wrote, baby. That is all she wrote.
Will he eat the eggs right out of their thighs? Will we have more stories? Will I find a shorter story? Find out next time on the next episode of Drunk Talks and Empty Thoughts.
And here's a shot for all y'all listeners and watchers out there. Thanks for sticking with us, sticking to us, sticking next to us.
And sticking in this.
Yes, this is for you guys. Cheers to another episode.
Remember to follow our socials, and remember, guys, stay hydrated. See y'all
Drink
next time.
responsibly.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're not.